Okay, so welcome to another day of Algebra 1. We're going to move on and we're going to continue with our conversation about linear functions and tables with Lesson 3. So what I want you to do now is get into your workbook and find these two sheets, all right? So we're going to need exploring tables at jump, and there are going to be two parts to this exploration. This is going to be kind of like an opener for you, and then we're going to continue that conversation with this piece, all right, a paper here with the tables and some blanks and such. But right now, you can put this one away, and let's focus on this one. So what I want you to do is continue with the process that we've described and talked about in our previous lesson. Go through and find all your rates of change for x, find all your rates of change for y, and I want you to write out and describe that rate of change. So go ahead and pause the video, do that, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about the rest of the exploration. All right, so hopefully you see that all of your rates of change are negative 4 to 1, so very similar to what we've talked about. All right, so we get that constant rate of change. Now, what we're going to look at here, all right, is what happens when we take that same table, all right, and we start moving some information out of that table. All right, so now this is going to create some skips or jumps, so not all of our x's are going to increase by 1. So you can see as I rearrange this now, all right, we now are going to have tables that skip. So when we look at our table now, that first step is plus 3, and our y's go down by 12. So that's negative 12 to 3, but that reduces to negative 4 to 1. We get negative 4 to 1 here. That's just like what we had. Now notice we get negative 16 to 4. Okay, so what you can see is that we get these jumps, but they're all going to reduce to that same negative 4 over 1. Now let's take a look at that second sheet. So if you need to pause the video. And what we want you to do here is explore this, all right, by taking that table on the left and cutting it out. All right, and you see like I have there on the right-hand side. So we want you to cut that table out, and we want you to figure out what are those rates of change. And by filling in some missing values, you see that there was a step missing there. So I cut it out, put in a blank table. All right, cut that out. There's a missing 2 steps there, so I put in that. So take your time to go through this and see if you can find what the rate of change would be and what those missing values on the table would be. All right, and then we'll check back in.